It's for that little girl that I had dreams of being where I am, and to actually see it come to fruition, like, it's so surreal. It's been so fun. How can I mentor now the next generation of what I've learned and what I wish I would have learned faster? When I leave the sport, I hope that every interaction that someone has had with me, that they've felt that I've tried to leave it better than I found it.
There's no way she's going to actually leave the sport altogether, but you can see Jordan Larson's final regular season game on April 4th. The Governor's term comes to an end at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Victory Plus. She's going to leave the court maybe, but I just can't imagine volleyball without her in some capacity.
And I can't imagine volleyball in Nebraska without her in some capacity, right?
Yeah.
What a legend. And look at that, 4 kills. She's hitting .444. She's the 4-time Olympic medalist.
Yeah, I mean, can't we get her reelected if she's the governor? Come on. Set number 2, Salt Lake showed some real aggression and life at the end of that last set. There's just a missed set. What do you want to see from the end of the first set continue for Salt Lake into this second?
They actually look pretty locked into each other. I don't see a lot of like heads hanging low on the team, so I think there's the belief is there. So I just think keep playing their game and hope they fall back into what they did for the first half of this season.
Dykema's serve, pass by Kojima, out to Alexa Gray. She comes in with power. Huge dig by Rodriguez. Oh my, what a dig from Casanova. Gray, second time, powerful swing.
And that sharp angle swing around the big block. Haiti Casanova, just little look what I found. Reaching that one arm out there and then, oof, with authority.
I mean, that's just a pro. You see, she just is somebody who's seen so many balls. Nothing extra in it. Now a big swing the other way from Kimberly Drewniok. That's one of the things I love about League One volleyball. All these international stars that we have seen overseas, now the American fans are getting to see people like Haiti Casanova out of Cuba, Kimberly Drewniok out of Germany, and falling in love with them. Doug, tight ball, well cared for. Gray again, taking huge hacks. Bausch.
Not quite a high yaw, but pretty close. After a perfect dig from the governor.
She's the Monica Seles of volleyball. Remember Monica Seles?
I do. Well, I remember replays of Monica Seles.
Oh, come on now.
So sorry. I just,
Unnecessary dig. Nebraska leading 3-1. Bausch hitting 300 already in this. Casanova. That was a Bausch block, by the way. Alexa Gray has been hammering cross-court tries down the line that time.
Yeah, a little bit off the net. She might have got a little bit under it, so the ball was slightly behind her. And she was really close to getting the fingertips.
Ace serve by Jordan Larson.
And right to Alexa Gray.
And specifically going to the outside of Gray, which is much more difficult. Straight down the line again. This time, back-to-back aces by the governor.
And that was to the other side of Alexa Gray. Probably actually could have been Alexa Gray's ball. Claire Hoffman really filled that seam to take it, but that thing floated.
Bausch pushing through the triple block. You heard no because Casanova backcourt hitter had to stay on the floor. Poulter to Hoffman.
Can Claire Hoffman be that steady force to get them back into this one?
Larson's serve down the line causes the same problems on the other side.
And that pass goes into the net, touching the net outside of the antenna, which is out of bounds, which is why the whistle blew. Now Dykema is saying that didn't touch the net outside the antenna. so the play should have continued. This will be a discussion. Not sure if that's something that can be challenged, though.
And noticing where that serve was, it was again to the outside of the passer. We'll see if she does the same. And again, it's the same combination. Goes to the other side. Rodriguez all over it. Dykema, beautiful to Bausch. She's got Drewniok behind. And 4 contacts. Block did not get a piece of that.
There will be a challenge on this one. Coach Susie Fritz is going to say that there was a touch on that block, meaning the play should have continued. Each team's got a couple of challenges they can use per set. And here we go. We'll see a good view of it here. It first hits the net. Does it hit the arm also?
Oh, I think it may not. Does the tape and the ball go in? Right? Oh, I think it did get hand, right?
I think I saw a pinky on it. A pinky or a thumb, I'm not
right
sure.
Right hand of Serena Gray in the middle.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's pretty clear. Now, the referees want to see it be pretty clear in order to make the overturn. I would argue that's pretty clear. If this is overturned, it would be a replay because the play would have continued.
Yeah, a call can stand, be overturned, or confirmed. And stand is when you really can't tell, you just go with the original call. Oh, see, now it's not near a pinky.
Wow, it looks totally different from this angle. That's wild.
Yeah, and also look how low it is. It's just a matter of whether the net pushed into here. Yep, I think it contacted forearms.
I do too.
I like the other angle better. And the officials will call a replay, so in that case, calls overturned, as you pointed out, replay because the whistle stopped the play. Successful challenge for Susie Fritz in Nebraska. Seeing the signaling there, what's Serena Gray doing?
She's actually telling them what she's blocking now, so that the back row defenders know which spaces they're going to need to fill.
Back to Drewniok.
And she was going for that outside of the block. It looked like she actually had a pretty good seam in the middle that she may have been able to go through.
To the middle. Cross body, beautifully done.
I love to see a run broken by a set to the middle. A lot of times you see teams rely on their pin hitters almost in like a semi-panic mode, but no. Go to your middle, go to Herrera.
And how about Herrera seeing the double block off to the right and cutting it back? The vision of the Argentine, so sharp. Another ace serve.
Conde follows it up with the ace. I love this from Nebraska. This is a team that needs to get the other team out of system to have success. They've been doing that better and better as the year goes on.
They're pinching over, trying to keep it away from Gray, but still able to find her. Ball down. Yeah, with the rules here, you can move after the toss, meaning you could even change positions completely after the toss, and I think that Salt Lake's trying to take some pressure off.
Yeah, typically, growing up with volleyball, you could only move once the ball was served, but now that you move with the toss, it does change it.
And it is something that Tama Miyashiro has told us she wanted to capitalize upon because there's a lot more you can do once that ball is in the air. So right now they're not switching positions completely, but they have been pinching over, trying to take some of the load off of Alexa Gray. Like Manami Kojima there, scooting over. Ball outside, Bausch. Big time swing down the line.
All started with a great dig by Lexi Rodriguez. When you dig a ball, a hard-driven ball, it doesn't have to be a dig that's like a perfect pass. Just get it high into the middle of the court so your setter has some options. Great play by Lexi, great finish by Bausch.
Same thing there. Kojima scoots over, takes the ball from Gray.
That's a great call by you, AMA. as much pressure that they can take off of Gray as possible. Manami Kojima, one of the best passers in the world. Yeah, make that little shift when that toss happens.
Up front now, Tori Dixon, international star, 13 years as a professional. She just sees the ball so well. You know, is she really scheming, or what's the key to Tori Dixon's strong blocking?
She's more of a read and react type of player, right? You talk about scheming, and I'll get into more of that in a second.
Kojima moving the other way, freeing up Claire Hoffman. Same principles. Quick. Beautiful thumb down from Gray.
Awesome from Gray. Body's going one way. Bring that thumb down to take the ball the other way around the block. All right, so reading and reacting kind of blocking. That's what Tori Dixon is so good at. She sees the pass, gets that eye to the setter, sees that ball, and then goes with it.
Dixon watches here, gets a positive touch, but then the communication between the two.
And of course, when you're blocking and you turn, that's a tough one to deal with. Of course, you would rather have Tori take that ball so that Jordan can set it, but if you're turning around after a block, you sort of just want to make sure you get a hand on it.
That was
We're here for you in clinic.
In the physical therapy kit.
In the training room.
And in the operating.
This is a team that truly cares.
Sports medicine care that serves you. Game on.
Fans, be sure to stick around post-game for an exciting spring NCAA volleyball matchup between the Omaha Mavericks and the Creighton Blue Jays. That match will start 20 minutes after the conclusion of the LOVB Nebraska match. LOVB Nebraska's back in action here at Max Arena for the League One volleyball match of the league as they battle Love Houston on Wednesday, April 1st at 7 p.m. And later that week, make sure you're in the building for our final home match of the regular season on Saturday, April 4th for Jordan Larson's final serve. Tickets are going fast, so get yours now at Ticketmaster or love.com/tickets-central.
the service line pressure has been consistent from Nebraska.
Nebraska came into this match with the least amount of aces of any of the 6 teams in League One volleyball, and they've got 4 tonight. Those float serves are dancing between players all over the place. Jordan Larson's like, look what I found. Real good right now for Nebraska from the service line.
Yeah, you mentioned the least amount of aces. Meanwhile, Salt Lake came in with the most.
Yeah, that's right. 80 aces on the year coming into this one for Salt Lake, only 55 for Nebraska. That's reversed a little bit. Nebraska's got 4, Salt Lake only has 2.
Caro, who had one of those aces behind the service line now. From the backcourt, Kojima will pick up a tip. If it's not fast, and then unloads goes Alexa Gray.
Love that from Alexa Gray in transition. She'll go to the front row now. Yeah, Manami Kojima was all over that.
Larson, quick arm.
Quick set, quick arm.
I mean, that's the issue with Larson, right? You don't know what's coming because each attack is so different from the last.
She'll come in the same every time, and you don't know whether she's looking for high hand, she's going power, she's going to tip.
Kojima strong pass, and this time Hoffman blasts through the block.
We talked about how important Hoffman was last time these 2 teams played. They've been going to her sort of here and there tonight. I almost expect at some point tonight it's going to be a lot more Hoffman.
Solid pass. They could run the middle. They go out to Larson. Alexa Gray, one blocker is not going to be enough to contain Alexa Gray.
3 kills for Gray and Hoffman. They're outside hitters in the last few points. That's what I like to see from Salt Lake.
Dykema hacking at the block.
This is the point in set number 1 where Salt Lake really started to get back in it, right? It's been a very similar set so far.
Larson has a couple of aces on the night, decided to serve in a different path.
Are we seeing the end of the Governor's career, or will it continue into the playoffs?
Yeah, right, that is the question. Meanwhile, running the middle to Conde Herrera.
Conde, part of the 3 middle problem for other teams when they're facing Nebraska. You got Conde, you got Carroll, and you got Thader.
Yeah, we have not seen Thader yet, but when she comes in, she's long, has a lot of offensive prowess. Oh, that's such a smart serve.
Tipping at the top of the net, you're going low, you're going hard, and you almost crossed them up a little bit, didn't you? Look at that.
Going right through traffic because Casanova running that direction across. Serving into traffic, one of the best ways to disrupt people.
And so that's an interesting thing that you can shift now during the serve toss. It can create more of a problem sometimes too.
Yeah, you have to be really thoughtful about when and what you are doing. Gray's serve. Well passed. Looked like it set was a little low, but Caro was able to punch it.
As a middle, if that set's a little bit low, a little bit high, you do not have very much time to react. You know you can't swing as hard as you can. It is a split-second change of decision that you have to make, and she did that real well.
Never over.
Tough serving again. This time Drewniok at the line. I love this service pressure from Nebraska. Not only did they come in with the least amount of aces in the league, but also the least amount of service errors. They're being aggressive tonight.
Through the outside, big dig. Drewniok.
Nebraska is clicking right now. Part of their all systems go that I mentioned at the beginning, it was actually more about their middles, figuring out their middles, and they've got their middles figured out now. Lexi Libero, she's an amazing passer. They've also got Ani Cesar, who can come in as a passing and defensive sub at some point for one of their outside hitters, or even Drewniok opposite. We haven't seen that yet, but we can. They know they've got that. They've got Bausch, who is producing on the outside right now. The person I didn't mention was Drewniok, who's been there all along. So if Drewniok is firing, Bausch, the middles, everything looks good for Nebraska.
Meanwhile, on the other side for Salt Lake, what do they need to do right now to stop the bleeding and turn it around?
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it is the pass. Somehow they got to figure out this pass because Nebraska is serving tough. You got to see Claire Hoffman and Manami Kojima maybe come in there and take more passes from Alexa if possible. And it just really is. I know. Who do we got coming in there?
They did make a change in bringing in Mary Lake. She's a former libero out of BYU. So again, shoring up the passing. They're losing a little bit of backcourt offense, but it's probably worth it for the passing. Of course, they target her right away. So hard to come in cold. Perfect tempo results in a perfect middle attack.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Tama Miyashiro agrees they need to get that passing in sync. So while Alexa Gray is back row, they bring in a passing sub. Let's see her settle in.
Here it is again. Kojima takes the first ball. Wow. Bausch all across.
What a reach for Bausch. Her right hand into that seam. There was an open seam, and she closed it just in time.
One arm dig, Drewniok threw the ball. It's all about the defense of Nebraska.
Getting that ball high on defense, putting it high, letting your setter get to it, and then you got options. And just so casual, the one arm, the fist, whatever.
It's the same thing we saw from Casanova on the other side. I think when you're over 12 years, let's say, as a pro, you could do the one arm, I don't want to spend too much energy kind of dig.
Yeah, as a junior, as you know, growing up in the game, it's always get two hands on everything you can, right?
Well, Salt Lake, pressure is on. Serena Gray going out right now. Of course, she was the one who had the big service run at the end of the first set. In now, Maddie Haynes, another excellent server. Larson first contact. And the high of Anna Bausch.
Just keeping it rolling. That's 8 kills now for Anna Bausch after her 5 that she had in set number 1. And Nebraska's spreading it out. 8 kills for Bausch, 6 for Larson, 6 for Drewniok, 7 for their middle hitters.
Solid first contact from Claire Hoffman. Dykema running through it. These two are really good friends, Jordan Larson and Laura Dykema. And Laura Dykema said she very much wanted to be here for Jordan Larson's last season, wanted to spend that special time with her.
They just look like they're having fun, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's bad news for Salt Lake. Haiti Casanova. Shut down. Tori Dixon, there's your read and react.
Absolutely. Didn't wait or didn't go until she saw exactly where that set was going, even though she was the only blocker up there. She watched the shoulder of that hitter. Great play.
She's in the Minnesota Hall of Fame. Casanova again sends it long. We are at Nebraska set point. So what did Nebraska do best in the second set?
Everything. I'm really trying to come up with like an intelligent one thing they did, and they are just all around playing awesome. I'm going to say service pressure. They are keeping that float serve low and moving.
Dykema and Dixon fighting it out. Remember, this is for the set in Nebraska's favor. Larson blasts through. And for the second consecutive set, Jordan Larson has the last word. 25-15, Nebraska win. Jordan Larson is on a celebration tour, and she has been playing tremendously, finishing off the set with a kill.
tremendous purpose in raising standard. Kendall's selflessness and relentless work ethic have left a lasting impact on every player she's coached. She instills discipline, belief, and a long-term mindset, changing lives and inspiring athletes to continue playing along after their time on the berth.
Nebraska leading 2-0 over Salt Lake. When you go to see a Nebraska game, part of the draw is to see 4-time Olympic gold medalist Jordan Larson, and that is why she is our Skims moment of confidence.
I mean, yeah, you just can't say enough. There's so many good things to say about Jordan Larson. I mean, look at her serving, look at her attitude. She's having fun out there. She's got the confidence. She's got everything a good volleyball player needs to have, frankly. And that's why she's been the best. 4-time Olympic medalist. She's the governor of Nebraska because she is all Nebraska. Grew up in Hooper, Nebraska, played at the University of Nebraska, now playing for Love Nebraska. We're so happy to be able to watch her play at the highest level here in the USA.
Maybe she should actually run for governor of Nebraska when she's done playing.
I don't think that'd be the worst idea. She's got, tonight, look, the veteran, the confidence, I love that. She is an extremely confident player. 7 kills, no errors tonight.
She is an icon indeed, and Love Icons is the league's fan-driven all-star program, recognizing the athletes making the biggest difference on and off the court this season. Fans, athletes, and coaches can vote today through April 4th to help determine the 2026 first and second team selections. I imagine Jordan will be there. The voting page is live at LOVB.com/icons. Well, many will continue to learn from her because she also really enjoys coaching, so it'll be interesting to see what she decides to do. And a look at the standings again. Run us through what's on the line, Mark.
Yeah, you see Salt Lake and Nebraska. Salt Lake's 9-8, Nebraska's 8-9, but they are going opposite directions over the last month and a half or so. Salt Lake still in a position to win and in any of their last 3 matches, including this one. Nebraska a win tonight, and they are on the edge of making the playoffs with either one more win or one Austin loss.
Yeah, meanwhile, Atlanta right now is up 2-0 over Madison. If Atlanta wins, Atlanta secures their spot in the playoffs and eliminates Madison from being able to get there. So an impactful day in League One volleyball. Set 3 underway, more service pressure. How about a little waterfall?
I mean, talk about when things are going your way, you find a way to get the ball to the ground. It wasn't a great pass, but they still found a way to run a shoot set in the middle, a quick set in the middle, and Conde gets it down. That's a great play by Dykema.
Oh, I loved that from Conde. A little waterfall off the hand. Dixon jamming it through. Backcourt. Rodriguez absorbs the power, chased down by Dykema. Now we're seeing a lot of defense. Quick to Bausch to finish the rally.
This is the best volleyball in the world. That is what I'm talking about from both teams. Wow. Excellent dig.
There's Manami Kojima, has her hands out as she's about to receive serves, telling herself, you can do it. And we want to say to her, yes, Manami, you can, because you're one of the best in the world. But that's what she tells herself in those moments.
That's so great. Talk about positive attitude. We talked about Drewniok and the joy. Jordan Larson, you can see the joy on her face. Manami Kojima, one of the most fun and happy players to watch out there on the court as well.
Must-win set for Salt Lake. Oh my, how is she hitting even harder in the third set?
The confidence continues from that comeback victory on Wednesday. And Coach Fritz, you're right. I think you're right. This is the Anna Bausch, and if this is what she'll be, they are going to be dangerous in the playoffs.
She has told Anna Bausch, I need you to get a little bit angry. And she has some angry swings. Alexa Gray bringing power yet again. Drewniok covered, one-arm stab by Larson. Serena Gray. She leads the league in kills out of the middle, but that one, no, and I think they are challenging it. We'll see.
Look at Manami Kojima. She's like, I know you touched it. I know you touched it. Can't get past me. All right, seems like Kojima is pretty convinced there was a touch on the block.
Well, it's not her first day, so I tend to believe her, right? We have a challenge. Can't tell from that angle, but this one looks pretty good. This looks promising. Oh. Oh, I don't know. Do we see a rotation change in the ball?
I don't think there's enough there to overturn it.
Right, it does need to be conclusive in order to do so, as you pointed out earlier.
And that'll be one they probably take a look at for a little while. You're right, Anne-Marie. You look at that rotation, and that's a great thing to look at. I don't think the rotation looked like it really changed, frankly. And look, it's very possible it hit her forehand or skimmed her forearm. But I just don't think there's enough there to be conclusive. We sort of see it on the edge of your screen there. Wait a second. They are gonna give it to Salt Lake. Okay. Wait.
No.
Did they call a touch? You said challenge successful. Did Nebraska challenge that and they overturned it?
No, I think Salt Lake did, but.
Okay. Point Nebraska. Either way.
Great pass to start things off from Alexa Gray and pounds it off the block.
That's the execution that Salt Lake needs. And they've been getting from Alexa this year.
Laura Dykema is a front court setter right now for Nebraska, and she will attack or call her own number. She hasn't yet. Oh, so good.
The positive energy flowing from Nebraska with the high yads from Bausch. Look at that spin from Jordan Larson on the pass. The intensity.
Katie Casanova, I think that was all Larson on that one. Hoffman was trying to say you touched it, but no call in that direction. Claire Hoffman, I mentioned it earlier, I think she's underrated as a player because of her passing that you've talked about.
Yeah, she's a very strong passing outside hitter. And that's something that's sort of easy to overlook sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about serving and passing being the foundation of the game. Really, passing is the foundation of the game. It's also, the least fun part of the game when you're watching it, so it sort of gets overlooked. Yeah, Hoffman.
Serena Gray off the top. Larson, long ball. And this time, Hoffman makes it clear that she uses high hands. We are in the third set here, Nebraska leading 2-0. Meanwhile, Atlanta swept Madison, and with that, Atlanta has secured their spot in the playoff picture. How big is that right now?
All right, absolutely huge. We got two teams locked into the playoffs. We've got our first team eliminated from the playoffs in Madison. Congratulations, Atlanta. We'll see you in Louisville.
Yeah, that is like a deep sigh at that point. Salt Lake, with a win today, can do the same. They are down by 2 sets. Meanwhile, Nebraska, this would move them one step closer, and they would need one more win or one Austin loss in order to secure their spot. Oh, it is so intense these last 2 weeks. After today, only 1 week of play remaining in the regular season.
And I sort of love that 4 teams rather than 6 make the playoffs. The drama in these last 2 weeks is real.
Absolutely. Outside to Larson. Great run and bring back by Gray. And it results in a Hoffman kill. Credit Alexa Gray for that beautiful defense.
7-7, tied here in set 3. And after the quick start by Nebraska again, you thought maybe they'd run away with it, but Alexa Gray says, don't count us out. We know what we're playing for. If Salt Lake wins this, Salt Lake and Atlanta would still be in the running to potentially grab the number 1 seed as well. Houston's in control of that right now, but doesn't have it locked.
There you go. Gray catching fire defensively and offensively.
Love everything I'm seeing from Alexa Gray. The best she's played in the last couple matches. And I just take a look at her stats here. I'm sure they're pretty darn good too. Yeah, 8 kills, hitting in the 400 range or 40% range kill percentage.
Larson, so good, sharp.
What a play to get that over and keep it alive, but great execution once again, like Nebraska's been doing all night long.
Kojima first contact is good. Haiti Casanova behind the 3-meter line with power.
I feel something different from Salt Lake.
I agree.
Especially that swing from Haiti. She is a player who can catch fire with swings like that.
Rodriguez, beautiful pass to start things off. Another one-arm dig from Casanova. And campfire as everybody watched that block go down.
Yeah, probably 4 different people could have had that dig. Would have been tough for anybody. Somebody definitely could have got a hand on it, though. Salt Lake getting back within 1, tying it. Nebraska keeping the lead.
Herrera, tough serve. Gray, solid, smooth swing.
And back and forth we go. These look like 2 playoff teams battling.
Poulter. Pressure serve. Everybody knows it's going to Bausch. Block waiting for her. And goes right back to her.
Fantastic turn from Bausch. She's been going hard all night long. Full throttle, full swings. She knew she couldn't on that one. Very smart off speed down the line.
There's a perfect Hoffman pass. Example A of how her passing helps Salt Lake.
Gets Serena Gray back in the offensive mix.
Dykema to Caro. Shut down by Hoffman.
And after 8 straight side outs, Salt Lake stops that and takes the lead into the automatic timeout.
Nebraska calls a timeout, Nebraska during this timeout has to figure out how to right their ship. League One Volleyball is presented by Skims, the official loungewear, intimates, and sleepwear partner of League One Volleyball.
Salt Lake is doing what they need to do to get back in this one. The confidence coming from all of these players, and it really starts with Alexa Gray. She is back dialed in. Serena Gray is looking good. Claire on the outside, Haiti on the opposite.
Alexa Gray's serve right at Jordan Larson. Little touch from Dykema. It's going to go to Bausch. Everybody knows it, and yet she's still able to beat the block.
And almost pushed Serena off the net on that one. 12-12. Nobody's had a 2-point lead in quite a while. Tama Miyashiro's got to love the fight that she's seeing from this crew right now. Not making any substitutions, leaving her best out there. Figure out a way to get through this.
Yeah, Anna Bausch, by the way, leading all scorers with 14. Looks like Serena Gray maybe got a little bit of that ball to the face.
It's probably the worst feeling you could have in volleyball as a blocker. I mean, that ball is a few inches away from your face when the hitter is hitting it.
I love a tough player.
Yep.
Serena Gray just put something in to stench the bleeding, and
ready to rock.
She's ready to go. Now, she's not a receiver, but I wonder if you do serve over into that congestion at all. And that's exactly what they were going to. She got out of there quickly. Oof, another block. That is why Carol is one of the best blockers in the world.
Has been doing it all around the world for Brazil, her national team, now here in the USA, up and over.
Hoffman off the block. Claire Hoffman continues to be powerful.
Which of these two teams will keep this going the longest? Both teams are in the flow. Tough serve. That was top of the tape. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Serena Gray spurred a serving run that put a lot of pressure on Nebraska at the end of set number 1. As Kojima, you saw her extend her arms again, saying, you can do this, the right side of your screen. Beautiful from Hoffman. The block has gotten completely out of control now. Herrera and Poulter.
The middle blockers for Nebraska. What an important piece. What a game-changing piece to get control back.
Service is long. Nebraska out blocking Salt Lake 6-2. Here's Haiti Casanova. She can bring a lot of fire from the service line, and she's just been hitting them a little too long consistently today. Alexa Gray in the center of the serve receive. And again, Hoffman tries to take that ball to free her up a bit, but the blocking of Nebraska has been game-changing.
They're so fast. Check this out. Getting all the way over there to support, but that wasn't actually about the speed of the middle. That was Jordan Larson reaching that hand all the way over and inside. That was a veteran move.
3 blocks for Nebraska in this set alone. Dykema right there at the seam between Gray and Hoffman.
Exactly. That was like, are you going to get it? Am I going to get it? Are you going to get it? And that thing just dropped so quickly. They didn't have that much time to make a decision, and neither of them took it.
Who do you want to see take that ball?
Because of her passing prowess, I want to see Claire take it. I would lean to say the hitter in the back row, but I'd like to see Claire take over and take that pass. because Alexa is clicking offensively right now. So Claire, even though you're front row, take the pass. You're a strong passer. Set up Alexa to get set that big.
There are some hitters who actually hit better when they're passing. Coaches never love to tell you who it is because they want you to think that that's a target. But I suspect, and I haven't looked at the numbers, I suspect Claire Hoffman may be one of those players. She's just so consistent. It's almost like a rhythm that people get.
Exactly. You're in a rhythm. You're part of the play already. You're locked into the play already.
Take a look here with Alexa Gray in the center of the Salt Lake serve receive. Does anybody, Manami or Claire, move over to take her? This time, Claire takes the ball, but more passing troubles for Salt Lake as it is another ace for Laura Dykema.
The answer I asked just a couple minutes ago was which team can stay in the flow the longest, and it appears to be Nebraska. They haven't gotten out of the flow all match.
There's a solid pass from Gray. Sent back by Tori Dixon. Just a little bit late, unable to get the touch she wanted on it. And the change mark, I mean, it was Salt Lake who led at the 12-point mark.
That was sudden. It was just all of the sudden, and I really think Nebraska just didn't back down. Salt Lake started to play like Salt Lake plays. Nebraska kept doing their thing, and they just battled through it.
Dykema again. And the official is saying, yes, there was a touch. You can wag your finger at me as much as you want.
And hey, yeah, wag your finger as much. That's what you should do. You should say I didn't touch it. That's the referee's job to call it, and they got it right.
Before all of this technology that helped everything out, we were all liars, by the way.
Of course.
Poker face. Claire Hoffman. Rodriguez pass takes the middle out of the options. Kojima, nice calm set to Alexa Gray, who takes a big swing. Wow. Jordan Larson, sharp with power.
There was a moment where the tide could have turned back to Salt Lake, and it was with their star hitter, Alexa Gray, getting a powerful kill, but Lexi Rodriguez, a perfect dig, and then the finish by the governor.
Haiti Casanova, there's the power from the Cuban that we love to see.
Give me that fire. Haiti Casanova, yes.
Highly experienced player, has played in 9 different countries around the world. She was a middle for Cuba. Move to the right side here. Herrera, both of these middles just patrolling that net. Nebraska.
She had to wait for that ball to come right on top of the net, so she had the right to touch it. Well-timed, well-positioned.
Nebraska 3 points away from inching closer to securing a playoff spot. First contact strong. Serena Gray bounce down.
Yes, Serena. Love that positivity. She's feeling good. Doesn't even need the tissue in her nose anymore. She's doing great.
Dykema to Bausch on a different kind of set.
Yeah, that one was a little bit more inside. So she came a little bit inside. It threw the block off. It gave her a little more room to work with. Fantastic play late in the match.
Yeah, everything else has been going out to the pin, so great call. Pass is good. Serena Gray tries to go the other way, and here we are again at set point, match point, Nebraska.
Just like they did last season, late in the year, Nebraska finds it.
Satisfaction delayed. They're looking to extend their win streak to 3, put more pressure on Austin, who is the team that they are battling for that 4th and final spot, with Madison being eliminated earlier today. That'll do it. Missed serve is good enough. The match goes to Nebraska. and they move closer to a postseason playoff spot.
All systems go for Nebraska. I saw no weaknesses in this Love Nebraska team as they are so close to the playoffs, and they are maybe the hottest team right now in League One volleyball, having won 6 of their last 8. They've redeemed both of the 2 losses in that streak against Atlanta and now Salt Lake. Nebraska on fire at the perfect time.
Both Nebraska and Salt Lake are 9-9 right now, neck and neck. And you see Austin just a little bit far behind. Last match of the season is Nebraska versus Austin. The final week of League One regular season starts next Wednesday with the game of the week. Jordan Larson and this Nebraska team play host to Houston, the top team in the league, featuring MVP favorite Jordan Thompson. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern on USA Sports. Then the rest of the playoff picture will be decided over ESPN Plus and Victory Plus. All teams in action, culminating in Jordan Larson's final regular season game of her career. It's Nebraska versus Austin, and it may come down to that final match to figure out who's the 4th team in the picture. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson along with my partner Mark Sherman, our producer Michael Shames, and our director David Hasselfield. So long. Thank you for joining us for this match. Nebraska wins.